many of us here on the island are familiar with recreational swimming. The beach is our playground. We go with our friends and family to just enjoy the tranquility of the scenery, to reap the healing and soothing nature of the seawater. But have you heard of the Nevis to St. Kitts Cross Channel Swim event? Well, allow us to enlighten you. Our Twin Island Federation has been the home of this cross-channel 4.1K swim across the Narrows, beginning on Wally Beach in Nevis and ending on Cockleshell Beach in St. Kitts. This year, the premier open water swimming event is scheduled for the 27th March, and it is also in its 20th year. Yes, you heard that right. So today we have the absolute pleasure of welcoming on Good Morning SKN, Mr. Winston Crooke. Good morning, Mr. Crooke, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. As you heard me say before, we're eager to talk about swimming because it's something that I can't do. So while I will not be participating in this year's event, who knows, there might be hope for me yet.
You have to have it as a bucket list item.
Yes.
One bucket list.
It is on his list, as he says he wants to learn to swim, because he promises that we're going to go swim with the dolphins.
Oh, yeah. Well, not the fish, but the dolphins.
With the dolphins.
Right. So when you think about the fact that this is now a 20-year milestone, this event has been put on for 20 years, is there any sense of satisfaction? Is there any sense of awe that comes from you, or just sheer shock or delight that you have gotten this far?
It's actually disbelief, actually, to be quite honest. It's, obviously, it's never started as it is now ended. Well, not ended, but, 20 years later. If you had told me when I did this, first of all, that 20 years from that moment, I would still be doing this, I would not have believed it. I would not have believed it.
Is there anything in particular that motivated you to launch this event back in 2002?
Yeah, actually it was. It was a fairly tragic event, actually. We lost a prominent member of our organization to cancer. And because her partner was our principal guidance in improving our own swimming, this was our involvement with triathlon at the time. We wanted to do something to honor her. This was Benty Weber, and we wanted to honor her and her involvement with our organization. So we came up with the idea of doing crossing the channel, and 35 of us at that time did the event. And it's just it's snowballed from there, really.
Well, that's a great way to honor her memory, indeed. And 20 years on, you're still doing it, so that's indeed very commendable. What can you tell us about the way that the event is organized in terms of registration, participants, and anything else that happens behind the scenes?
Well, it's sort of progressed. For example, I swam the first two iterations of the events because I think the first year, as I said, was 35, and the next year, I think we had like 45. Or something like that. So it was manageable, and I was able to swim myself. But by the third year, there had been a lot of momentum. People had heard about the event in the region and wanted to participate. And I soon realized that we were getting close to 70 people wanted to come. There's no way I could put that event on and swim myself. So I haven't swum since the first two events myself. I've been more concerned with the safety and the organization of the event myself. So I'm very keen to make sure that I know where everybody is in that water. It's a vast expanse of water, and it's not our natural medium. So, and it's certainly not mine. So I'm a swimmer, but I would never class myself as a good swimmer. I'm competent, but I'm not a good swimmer in terms of youngsters these days are swimming twice as fast as me, quite comfortably. So, but in terms of participation now, what's happened is that the event has gained its own momentum over the years, and even with COVID interfering with everything, there's still I'm still getting inquiries, like, for example, this year, without me doing anything. I literally haven't done anything in terms of promotion. I have inquiries from as far afield as Russia. We have a team coming from Italy, Northern Europe, et cetera, et cetera. It has its own momentum as an event because there is such a keen interest globally in open water swimming. So that's it's been very refreshing and interesting for me to see how an event like this self-motivates, really.
Is there any record that is currently held by anyone that swam the event?
Yes. The highest number of participants was 256 people in 2019. So I can remember this. It's quite astonishing, really, because I can remember me driving once I decided, okay, this is an event now, as opposed to just a memorial. And I started acting accordingly, doing online promotions as best I could from my location here. I was targeting 100 persons. If I thought, if I can get 100 people, I'm really onto something. And we did that. And now I'm looking, now it's like, okay, 200, then 300. And I eventually hope to get up to 500 persons, which will be awesome for the Federation and also for the development of swimming around the region as well. Believe it or not, is 56 minutes to cross. Yeah. Which is literally twice as fast as I can do it. It's twice as fast.
Who holds that record? You?
It's no. I wish. Oh, I wish. Maybe if I'd started swimming properly when I was very young, maybe that would have been my thing. But I came to swimming very late. So it's something I enjoy when I'm doing it. Because I realize that if you want to do a triathlon, you have to swim. So it's part of the event. So I've managed to find a way to navigate the waters for myself on a personal note. But the people who we have coming are very competitive. We've, in fact, in 2019 and 2018, we had Olympians coming here to do the event. They were part of I have a sort of holistic approach to the event. I'm trying to include as many people as possible, to reach out to as many persons as possible. And because I work in sport tourism, the idea is to encourage people to come and spend more time here. So they don't just come and, throw their bathing suits on, swim and leave. That we try to encourage. So, we hosted clinics with ex-Olympians, former Olympians. We hosted and we had Carlin Pipes run a clinic here. We had two Olympians from the UK also run clinics here during the week building up to the swim. I've even put on a triathlon the week before the swim to encourage people to come and do the triathlon and then stay for the swim. Everything I can do to try and promote and encourage persons to stay here more often and enjoy what we have here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
I don't know if you've heard Hortensia say this before, but she's always saying Nevis nice. So this is definitely one of the things that would get people to want to be part of this activity. There are two categories, as I understand it, for registration, the racing and the swimming. How far do you have to race? What's involved? And tell me all about it.
Okay, well, the category is I couldn't think of it any other way to describe everybody. So it's always, whenever you get more than two people doing something, it normally turns into a race. If it's, whether you try to or not. So the racing category simply means that you're not using any kind of assistance. That is, you're not using fins or a mask and snorkel or anything like that. You're swimming au naturel, basically, with the bare minimum. That's the only definition. Then we have assisted, which means you can literally use anything that isn't mechanical. We've had people come in and use wetsuits. And the idea of this is that we want to encourage persons who would like to do it, but are not fully confident in their ability to get across there without assistance, So rather than sitting on the sidelines watching, we've opened it up so that we can have people do it with fins, with mask and snorkel, with a wetsuit, just so they can do it. And then they've crossed that milestone. They psychologically know that they can make it. And then we hope what they'll do is then they'll go back, do the work they need to do, train up, and come and do it in the racing category, or unassisted, let's call it that. Okay? So that's the definition. Of course, it's always a race. And we have, in the racing category, it's the only category if you wish to vie for any of the first, second, and third placings in the event. We offer first, second, and third placings over different age groups, male and female. If you're crossing assisted, that you actually take yourself out of that equation.
So how can persons register for this event?
Well, we have a website that's operational. We have the website for probably 6 or 7 years now. And there is a link, a registration page link, which takes you to the active.com portal. And it's a very straightforward process from there.
We want to ask you to remind us when the event is.
Okay, for no particular reason, I always host the event at the last Sunday of March. So it'll be the 27th of March, okay, this year. It's, as I said, it's not that there's some significance. That it just started like that, so I've just continued like that. That's all.
Well, it's been our absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm disappointed to know that I can't learn to swim and cross the channel in 2 weeks.
Well, you could if you were already a fish.
Oh, well.
If you were.
As a human, no. As a human, no. Okay? You'll need to practice. Unfortunately, you will need.